The first major on-track gathering of a new Formula One generation is always shaped by more than lap times. It is also the moment when months of simulation meet physical reality. Early tests tend to expose not only aerodynamic concepts and power unit behavior, but also the compromises teams were forced to make during design and manufacturing. Those initial days often define the development tone for an entire season. Engineers arrive with carefully modeled expectations, while team principals watch closely for the first clues about where advantages and vulnerabilities might emerge. Several of the most decisive performance factors are not immediately visible, yet they can influence the competitive order just as much as downforce or straight-line speed. When the new cars reach Barcelona at the end of January for the first collective running ahead of the 2026 regulations, very few are expected to be close to the FIA's newly imposed minimum weight. As part of the technical overhaul for 2026, which moves away from heavy ground effect dependence and dramatically increases the electrical contribution of the hybrid systems, mass reduction has been positioned as a critical performance differentiator. The minimum weight has been set at 768 kilograms, a drop of 32 kilograms compared with the 800 kilogram limit of 2025. This comes despite a heavier battery to support a near 50-50 split between internal combustion output and energy recovered through the expanded MGU-K. Smaller overall car dimensions and narrower tires are expected to offset some of that increase, but not without significant engineering trade-offs. From 2026, wheelbase is reduced by 200 mm to 3,400 mm, and overall width falls from 2,000 mm to 1,900 mm. The FIA's intention is to reverse a long-term trend that has seen cars gain more than 200 kilograms over the past 2 decades. However, the aggressive target immediately raised concerns inside the paddock and created another major development front, alongside aerodynamics, power unit architecture, and energy management. Several team figures believe the 768 kilogram limit will be extremely difficult to meet at the start of the new cycle. Every extra 10 kilograms is estimated to cost around 0.3 of a second per lap, making early weight figures potentially decisive. Williams team principal James Vowles told motorsport.com in Abu Dhabi that most teams are likely to begin above the threshold. "I think the majority will be overweight," he said. "It is a very aggressive target, but it is manageable." It is a number I see as reasonable 5 to 10 months after the regulations were published, so I'm comfortable with that. Mercedes trackside engineering director Andrew Chauvelin echoed that view, stressing how fundamental the issue remains. "Weight is a big challenge," he told motorsport.com. "The limit wasn't derived by adding up components, it was simply imposed. It is far cheaper to remove weight before parts are manufactured than after cars are built and stock is already circulating." In previous regulations, teams were 10 to 20 kilograms overweight initially, which is expensive and compromises development. Our objective is to start as close to the limit as possible. Speaking earlier in 2025, FIA single-seater director Nicolas Tombazis said the governing body would like to push mass even lower in future cycles. He explained that this ambition partly motivated exploratory discussions about simpler power units with smaller ERS elements beyond 2030. "We would all like the cars to be much lighter," Tombazis told motorsport.com. "Some of the solutions proposed would lead to significantly lighter cars, which is what everyone wants. It is a balance between cost, technological freedom, how advanced Formula One is, environmental considerations, and excitement. We can try to neutralize some dimensional aspects, but it must be possible to return to something simpler than today." Current Formula One motorists have long voiced concerns about the scale and inertia of modern cars, particularly in slow-speed sections. Aston Martin motorist Fernando Alonso, who debuted in 2001 when cars weighed under 600 kilograms, said the present generation is too heavy and large. Mercedes motorist George Russell added that the 2026 direction is positive, noting that smaller and lighter cars represent a step in the right direction. What's your take on this situation? Share your opinion below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Formula One updates.